OMFG. I'm doing a tag. I kind of thought I was done with tags, but I'm doing one. And it has music in the prompts. I don't know jack about modern music. Hello, welcome to my channel, Another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and I am jumping into the maelstrom of tags again. And this is the Rock On Rap Song Book Tag, created by Nicole's Bookish, Nook. And it's kind of an odd tag for me to do, because all the prompts are based on rock or rap songs. And as I said, I don't know any of these songs in any significant way, but I decided, let's see what I can do with these prompts and get something interesting out of them. There are 10 prompts. Prompt number 1, It's a Hard Knock Life by Jay-Z. A fictional or non-fictional book about a poor family or an orphan. I don't know this song at all. And I don't normally read books about orphans, but I just so happened to start reading or rereading Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. And Jude is, in fact, an orphan raised by his rather lackadaisical aunt. And he's rather poor throughout this book. So I guess this does fit that prompt, even though he's really only a child, an orphan, in the first few chapters. And this is perhaps my favorite Victorian novel of all time. It is grim, it is fatalistic, it is about poor Jude Folly, who wants to be an intellectual. He wants to know Latin. He wants to know Greek. He wants to go basically into the church. But he's a poor boy. And only rich men, only educated men can do this profession that he wants. So he becomes a stone carver. And he has a very bad marriage to a woman named Arabella. And Arabella dumps him. And then he falls in love with his cousin, Sue. And it just gets worse from there. This is the novel that had such a hue and cry when it's published. It was irreligious, they said. It was immoral. And it stopped Thomas Hardy from writing novels. That's too bad, because this is possibly one of my favorite books of all time, and definitely the top of my Victorian books. Prompt 2, Walk This Way by Aerosmith, featuring Run DMC, a favorite book of yours that blends genres. Again, I'm not too familiar with this song. I think I may have heard it once or twice. But I'm picking a book that I just recently read. I don't know if I could say it's my favorite, but it is a great book that blends genres. Titanium Noir by Nick Harkaway. Nick Harkaway is the son of Jean Le Carré, and let me just say, this family has some really great writing talent in them. This is a mix of science fiction and mystery noir. Sometime in the future, maybe it's England, maybe it's the United States. It has a feel of England to it. But there's a lot of handguns in this story. And handguns in England just don't jive with me. But anyway, there is a detective. And he specializes in cases featuring titans. Because in this future, there was a drug that was created that basically makes you immortal. It makes you young again. It heals you. If you're a middle-aged man and you take this drug, you will be reverted back to about 14 or 15 years old. Now, the only problem with that is when you are 14 or 15, you have lots of growth spurts. And if you take this drug, you will also get that growth spurt again. So these titans are not only immortal, they're giants. Some of them are only, 6'5", some get up to 7 feet tall. But if you take this drug multiple times, each time you take it, you will get a new growth spurt. And some of them can get to 13 feet tall. But someone has murdered a titan, and it is up to this detective to find out who. The normal police want absolutely nothing to do with this because all the titans are fabulously rich and very powerful. And the police just say, no, thank you, I'm not investigating this crime. But this detective has to investigate this crime. I really enjoyed it. If you like science fiction and you like mystery, this is a book for you. Prompt number 3. Just Lose It by Eminem, a book that you think is funny or ridiculous in a bad way. I don't know this song. Well, I'm going to pick Dead Inside by Chandler Morrison. This is an extreme horror novella. It features a necrophiliac. It features a female doctor who likes to eat dead babies. And they get this weird sexual relationship going. It is so over the top violent. It makes absolutely no sense in the real world, because in the real world, what these two people do would get them caught rather darn quickly. But no, there's no consequences to having sex with dead bodies or eating dead babies. Extremely gross. Calling it funny is only in that sort of weird ha-ha way and say like, that's really bizarre and gross. And it is. And originally, this book was given to me by Bad is Rad 2, because she wanted to get rid of it. And I decided I was going to have a group that I would read it and pass it on to another person. But no one took me up on this offer. So if you go to the opening page, you can see it's been signed by Bad is Rad, signed by me. And the whole idea was to spread this book around and get people to read it. No one took me up on the offer. The offer is actually still good if you want to read this book and you live in the United States or someplace where I can use media mail. This book can be yours. Prompt number 4, Thunderstruck by AC/DC, a book that shocked you in a good or a bad way. I'm not familiar with this song. But I am picking Jesus and John Wayne, How White Evangelicals Corrupted a Faith and Fractured a Nation by Kristen Kobo-Dimas. This is a book about white evangelicals and how they essentially want their religion to rule this country. Now, I am not myself religious, but I consider myself mostly tolerant. If you want to be a Christian, you want to be a Jew, you want to be a Muslim, a Hindu, a Buddhist, a Zoroastrianism, a Sikh, if you're living a peaceful life and believing what you want to believe, go for it. What I do not like is people who think that their religion is the correct religion and the religion that you should follow, maybe under force. Because these white evangelicals sort of believe in the John Wayne method. They think he was a good man, toting his guns. And they also think that if Jesus were alive today, he'd be toting guns and making you join their religion. It shocked me because I really didn't think people would take it all that seriously, but they do. And it should surprise you. It should shock you. It should make you mad that these people are out there trying to force their religious views upon other people. Number 5, Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses, a book about LA or a book that takes place around LA. I actually know this song. I am shocked. And the book I am picking is The Black Dahlia by James Ellroy. It is loosely based on a true historical event. There was a woman who was murdered in LA. It was in the 40s, and no one knew who murdered her. It is officially an unsolved case, but in this novel, a couple of police detectives take it along themselves to find out who murdered this woman. It is a grim, it is a wonderful story, and it's LA all over the page. James Ellroy says LA is his favorite place in the world. He mentioned that when he was a younger man, he got married, and due to that, he had to move away from LA. And he eventually divorced his wife because he missed LA that much. The city features prominently in this book. I have never visited LA, even though I appreciate his historic descriptions of the city. It's not actually a place I'd ever want to visit. But The Black Dahlia by James Ellroy is a fantastic crime novel. Number 6, Gimme All Your Lovin' by ZZ Top, your favorite romance book. Or, if you do not read romance, a favorite couple in any book. Again, I kind of know this song. I almost skipped this prompt because I don't read romance, and I don't read a whole lot of books where the couple is an important feature of the plot. And then I thought about a great book that does have that, and it is Angle of Repose by Wallace Stegner. It is the fictional story of a man named Lehman Ward who is researching his grandmother who moved out west and married a man. And it is the story of his grandmother and this man and their relationship together. It is great historical fiction. I can highly recommend it. Prompt number 7, Fight for Your Right to Party by the Beastie Boys, a book centered around a celebration. Again, I know this book from my college days. It was really popular in my freshman year at college, and all the people wanted to listen to this song and get stinking drunk. I'm not picking a book about a celebration, but I will mention a short story. The Mask of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe. It is the ultimate party story. If you have not read it, go ahead and read it. It's free on the internet. It's public domain. It will take you maybe 15 minutes. One of the greatest horror short stories ever written. And it's about a party. Prompt number 8, Firestarter by Prodigy, a book that has fire in the title or has an orange-red cover. Not a song that I know. And I am picking Fire in Paradise, an American tragedy by Alistair G. This is the story of a wildfire in California. I think it was 2016, and about a town that burned to the ground, and how residents of this town had to escape this fire. Living here in Virginia now, and other parts of the country, we sort of forget about the West Coast and its dangerous fires and how devastating they can be. When I lived on the West Coast, right outside Seattle, in between Seattle and Tacoma, there was actually a wildfire near me, and I had to evacuate. If I walked down the street from my house, I could see flames. It was not, in the long run, a major wildfire. I believe only one house was destroyed, but I did have to evacuate with all my pets, and that was a major pain. And this story can tell you just how bad it could be to be stuck in a wildfire. Prompt number 9, Humble by Kendrick Lamar, a fiction or nonfiction book that left you stunned at the audacity of the main character or the writer. Not a song I'm familiar with. But let me show you this book. Oh, this is Rising Up, Rising Down by William T. Vollmann. It is a book in 7 volumes. It is actually one book. It is not 7 books. And this is William T. Vollmann's justification on using violence. There is so much history in this book. It is so detailed that it will make your head spin. I have only read the first volume in here because it just takes every ounce of your brain to get through this. And it is huge. It is over 3,000 pages long. It is filled with photos and footnotes. It is also extremely hard to find this book. It was printed as a limited edition. I think it was like 1,500 copies. I bought it when it was brand new for $125. If you look on Amazon, it is now selling for $2,000. I'm not sure people would pay $2,000 for this book, but that's what it's costing you to get it now. I really wish I knew someone who had a copy of this book so we could buddy read it, because I think this is the kind of book that you need to discuss with people and probably take a year to read. So if you own this book and you want to buddy read it, please leave me a note, because I am eager to give this book a try all the way to the end. Prompt number 10, tag people. Well, I'm going to tag a few people. I'm going to tag some people that I don't think are real familiar with this type of music. Maybe they are, and I just don't know it. I kind of see what other people will. I'd like to see what other people would do who don't follow this music and are just following the prompts. So I am tagging Mark at Book Time with Elvis, Jim at Mystery and Mayhem, Randy Ray, the Literate Texan, and Sean D. Steadfast. Let's see if we can answer these questions. Thank you for watching, and keep on reading.